ask both of you this question. Where do the Fabulous Ones rank in the greatest tag teams of all time?
Well, if you ask us,
Oh, got a little frozen Steve. All right, Stan, you're on.
They froze up.
Oh, he's back.
nah, I got an answer because I'm a realist, but at the same time, I mean, I don't underplay us, but Stan has his side too. So let Stan tell you.
well, well, Steve, you kind of froze up. What was your answer? You froze there for a
Well,
second.
my answer is there's just too many to put a label on the greatest tag team. I mean, they're just endless. I sent Stan an art rendering just that I saw on Facebook just today, and it was the Road Warriors opponents, and it's got the Road Warriors in an art rendering, and they're facing all of these tag teams, and they're some of the greatest tag teams of all times, and they're looking back at them. But a lot of those tag team people are really close friends of mine, and I was sending it everywhere to the guys that are still alive, going, "Hey, you might not have seen this, but they honored you, and just being the Road Warriors opponents or whatever." But it was a montage, and then when you see all of that, I mean, I look at it. We were a great tag team, and I love being partners with Stan, and we were very successful. Were we the greatest? Well, who would ever know? Because it was just limited to a couple of territories.
Mm.
We never really went on the mainstream WWF back in the day. We never hit the big WCW together. We would have been prior to the little miniature guys like the Rock and Roll Express and the Fanatics or the Fantastics or whatever they were. We were prior to the Midnight Rockers, but we were more mature. We were more manly looking. So, but we were still in our 30s, which made us really young. Eddie Graham told me when I started, wrestling fans would not accept me as a serious butt whipper until I was 30 plus and I had a few dings on me. Like I had taken some beatings to achieve my experience in that ring. And now I'm a veteran. And that always made sense to me. So it depends on the era you're talking about and it depends on the comparisons. But when I think of Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hart, and when I think about, I mean, DiBiase and Mike Rotundo, and there's just so many tag teams out there, Demolition, the Road Warriors. I mean, the list is endless. So I say there was a lot of great tag teams. I don't say we were the greatest, but I said we held our own and we had respect from all of them because guess what? We ended up working with 90% of them. And if we didn't have respect, they wouldn't have sold us. They wouldn't have worked with us. And they wouldn't have been gentle on us. I remember working with Dr. Death and Steve Williams and Jim Knight. What's his name? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We went to Oklahoma to work for Bill Watts, and here we are, the Fabulous Ones, and we come in there to work against the two toughest guys in the territory. And I mean, it was like, uh-oh. I mean, this is going to be a night when somebody's just going to jerk us around. And they worked with us and gave us the utmost respect. And we bounced all over and put them over and everything like that. But back in our era and the territory things, everybody was really, to me, a great worker. I mean, you never had to worry about that. If somebody was a lame worker, it was one or two in the whole territory.
Well,
I
Steve,
mean,
set me straight on something. You mentioned the Road Warriors. Again, we all know the
sure.
stories when supposedly they were supposed to drop the AWA titles to you and Stan. Being an old school guy, if that story is true, why did you accept the fact that they wouldn't follow the promoter's rules?
Because that's not the way I was raised. I wasn't raised to go to the ring and go against the guy that's paying me and not do what I'm told. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier that works for an army general. The army general pays me. And whenever the Army general asks me to do, I'm going to do it. And if he asks me to get beat, then I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability to make my opponent look better. That's the whole nature of the wrestling business. It's what happens is guys' egos get in the way and they really start believing that there's something that they're really not. The business is a work. I mean, the Road Warriors were very difficult to deal with, but it was mostly Hawk, and he was kind of hot-headed, but he was just very green, and he's working with guys that are veterans that are willing to do anything in the ring, but we're not willing to change the finish on a territory from the boss, from what we were told to do when we came into the ring. I'm not willing to relinquish and go along with them. They're not paying me. And I know that when I come back from that dressing room, I'm going to have to answer for that. So you guys are supposed to go over what happened. You lost. Oh, well, they told us to. What do you mean they told you to? You mean to tell me now the other team tells you, hey, man, we don't want to lose tonight, so you're losing. What? Well, that's kind of how it happened. I mean, me and Stan are bouncing around. We're on cloud nine. We didn't see this many people in our whole career in this Minneapolis Coliseum. And everybody's freaking out. We don't even know what we are now. We got chaps on. We got bow ties. We got Japanese stuff on. We got every kind of gimmick that we own. We went out there. We weren't even sure what we were at that time, just trying to be like entertainers. And now we got two guys that are telling us, oh, just do it our way and nobody gets hurt. Well, I'm in another world when I start. I'm bouncing around, feeling the ropes. I'm looking for holes in the mat. I'm looking for things that are going to hurt me. And I hear that, and my first response is, what? I don't know if I heard that right? Am I deaf? Did I just hear we're not doing it? And if we do it your way, we won't get hurt. And then I made the mistake of getting up there and go, what'd you say? And then boom, next thing I know, I'm getting beat up for about the next 10 minutes. And it just, it snowballed, but we outsmarted them. We sure did. Whenever I tell Stan, hey, pack your bag. We're not going back to the dressing room. We're leaving straight from the building. Stan would just look at me and go, uh-oh. What are we going to do now? I don't know, but we'll figure it out as we go. I mean, it's a battle. You know what wrestling is? Wrestling is reality. It's a play school game of King on the Mountain for money and the real deal, your income. And you're playing King on the Mountain your whole career. You're always trying to climb the mountain to get farther up the card. And halfway up, people are pulling you by the legs, trying to pull you down, whether it's talking about you in cars, whether it's creating rumors about you, whether it's putting you down, oh, he had horrible matches, oh, I can't work with the guy, whatever it is. But you're fighting that battle the whole time. Once you get on top of that mountain, now you're just trying to kick everybody off that's coming up after you. And everybody's targeting you, no matter if it's a political target that they're putting on you, no matter if it's a personal thing, saying you're gay or whatever you are, or something to just try to trash you in a dressing room, and just anything to do to put you down, they're going to do it. So you're playing King on the Mountain the whole time. Road Warriors, they were just another obstacle, but I loved them. I got along great with them, except for when we had turned on them. And 2 nights, Hawk wanted to kill me. But other than that, we hugged all the time.
Stan, what was your feelings about that match?
I was thinking a short while ago, and I could be wrong, but I worked with the Road Warriors perhaps more than anybody else, because I worked with the Road Warriors with Steve, the Fabulous Ones, a lot. And then I worked with them again with Bobby, the Midnight Express. I worked with them with 2 tag teams quite a bit. So I may have had more frequent flyer mileage than anybody, taking those press slams. But as far as the ratings of the Fabs, I mean, that's like Steve said, it'd be too tough. I'd put us in the top 30, but I would never say we were in the top 5 or 10 or whatever. I mean, the Midnight Express were a great tag team too. I feel Bobby was one of the greatest workers of all time. But
Absolutely.
the Road Warriors, they never really grasped the fact that, to get heat, you can't go out there and tell the fans, the people in your interviews that you're going to kick somebody's butt, and then you go out there and you kick their butt. Well, that's not being a heel. That's being a baby face. You told them what you're going to do, and you did it. If they could have gotten tremendous heat looking the way they did, and if you really got tough with them and fought back, and then they finally maybe a little bit of a cowardice showed up in them. Of course, they would have never done that because they were too. I mean, their minds were, we're tough and it's legit, so we couldn't do that. But can you imagine the heat that they would have gotten if they would have just shown a little bit of cowardice? The people would go, look at those guys are big and huge, and look at them. They're really, when it gets down to them, they go and gets tough. They got a little bit of wimp in them, but that never happened. They finally, I think, kind of smartened up towards the end. And they were both great guys. We got along good with them, but we had a few little run-ins. But all in all, they were nice guys. They just believed their gimmick. They were both bouncers, I think, at a nightclub, and they fought a lot. And they just said, well, in real life, the Fabulous Ones couldn't beat us up in real life. Well, you know what? Wrestling is not real life. Wrestling is make-believe. It's fantasy. That's what you got to give the people, the fantasy. They come there after working 5 days a week, and then they want to immerse themselves in that fantasy world, and you gotta play your part. And Hawk and Animal had a hard time not playing the part of, we're legitimately tough, and we're always going to be tough, and we're going to win every match we get into, and nobody's going to beat us.
Great